Okay, so here we go again. This is my fourth broadcast. I wish they set it up, by the way, so that you could flip the camera before you start, so that you don't have to show something that you don't want to show. So maybe eventually they'll do that. What I really wanted to talk to you today about, first of all, my name is Carrie Gans. I'm a dentist here in Garden City, New York. I've done a couple of these periscopes, so I'm going to try to do something that has some value. And what I want to talk to you about today is dentistry not as a commodity. Now, what does that mean? I'm sure whoever's on this call, this Periscope, won't know what that means. Well, this morning, Good Morning America, according to my office manager, I had this whole segment about dentistry and how people no longer afford it, that 25% of the population doesn't go to the dentist, and that you really got to get online and find a cheap dentist and bargain with him and go ahead and look up for ads and see if there are coupons, and that's the way you can keep the cost down. Well, I got to tell you something. That is so much baloney that it made me almost sick to my stomach when she came in. And the reason I'm saying that is, if you were going to go for a heart transplant, you wouldn't go to the surgeon and say, listen, can you do it for $1,000 less? And you wouldn't look up your surgeon in a newspaper on an ad. Now, I'm not comparing doing dentistry and a heart transplant. But dentistry is also not comparable to going buying shopping for a car or getting beads on the beach in Mexico. You don't bargain for health care. You just don't. Now, that doesn't mean that dentistry can't be expensive, and it doesn't mean that there aren't issues with that. But what I'm suggesting to you, anybody that's looking for a dentist, whether it's here in Garden City, New York, which we welcome you, or anywhere, to first find a dentist you trust. Go by reputation. Go by referral. Go by the dentist's training. Go visit the office, meet the staff, see the dentist, ask for a tour of the office, ask for a personal consultation. Do I like it when patients pay cash? Truthfully, I don't care one way or the other. Cash to me is the same as a credit card, or credit cards cost me money, so I prefer check or cash. But I declare everything because IRS is looking over my shoulder every day, so I don't care about cash. And if a patient says to me, "What will you do for cash?" I say the same thing I'll do for a check, and the same thing I'll do for a credit card. I don't like making dentistry into a commodity because I don't believe it should be. There are so many diseases that we've learned about today that start in the oral cavity. What about gold coins? Bring them in. We'll talk. I don't know who you are, where you come from, but if you want to barter for gold coins, we can talk about that. I don't know. If you start talking about goats or something else, then that's where I draw the line. But anyway, getting back to my main point, because I wanted to do this real serious. I didn't want this to be comical in any way, shape, or form. Dentistry is not something that you go ahead and buy the cheapest. I mean, that's just, for Good Morning America to insinuate that, I think is just stupid. Because, not all dentists are the same. Not all chiropractors are the same. Not all accountants are the same. Not all physicians are the same. Not all electricians are the same. Everybody's different. You want to find the best. Now, why would you want to go to the cheapest? Do you think the cheapest is going to be the best? Do you think the cheapest filling or crown or implant is going to be the best implant? Now, there's one thing I've learned in life, that just because something is more expensive doesn't mean, oh, you're from Moscow. I know somebody from Moscow, Jan. Just because something's expensive doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. But the corollary is also true. Just because something is cheap doesn't mean you're getting something that is better. So you've got to be real careful. There's no question that if something is cheaper, and the chances are it's not going to be quite as good. Why? Well, a cheaper crown or cap means that the dentist is probably spending less money on a laboratory. He's taking less time. Time and money eventually are going to relate to the fact that your new crown is not going to be as good. You can't if it takes an hour for me to do a crown, somebody can't do it in a half an hour and do the same crown. It's just physically impossible. I'll give you a better example. We hear all the time from hygienists, and the assistants in our office who clean teeth. That's their job. They're there for oral hygiene maintenance. That we let them schedule themselves. They go ahead and if they need an hour for a patient, they take an hour. If they need an hour and a half, they take an hour and a half. It's the health that's important. It's the patient that's important. Many offices who charge much less for that visit have their hygienists seeing patients every half an hour. Well, you can't do anything in a half an hour. Just saying hello and goodbye takes 10 minutes. So what are you possibly getting done in a half hour? So they polish teeth and the patient goes thinking they've had an oral hygiene visit. In our office, it takes an hour. Minimum, sometimes a little bit more. So the reality is, just because something's cheaper doesn't mean it's providing a service. And I think everybody's got to understand that. Call Good Morning America and say, boo on you, because you can't go ahead and equate, the dollars. Now, When it comes to the expense, of course, dentistry can be expensive, like, no question about it. But the reality too is that any dental office out there will work with you to enable you to afford the dentistry that you need. We do it every day of the week. Obamacare, I happen to be in favor of Obamacare. I'm in favor of Obama. I'm a big Obama fan, and I'm waiting to see what happens with Obamacare. I think that in the United States we need a single payer system is what I think we need. I think everybody, Medicare for all, whatever you want to call it. I believe everybody's entitled to a roof over their head, food in their belly, and health care. And I just believe that's what it should be. Personal. I don't want to make this political. We're not going to talk religion. We're not going to talk politics. I'm a dentist. If anybody wants to talk politics, do a Periscope. We can talk politics. But the reality too is that I just wanted to make sure that everybody out there, at least whoever I can touch, understands that you can't treat dentistry as a commodity. It's unreasonable. It's unfair, and it's only going to cause problems. Cheap does not equate with good. Just because you can find something cheaper, it doesn't mean you're getting the same care. Same goes for medicine. Same goes in just about everything else you can think of in life. So I care about you all, and I thought I would do this because I don't know how many people listen to these things. But at the end of the day, just going ahead and finding a dentist that's the cheapest in your neighborhood or accepts your insurance. That's another big bugaboo. Just because someone accepts your insurance doesn't necessarily mean that they're a good dentist. All it means is that they're willing to work for less. So if they're going to accept your insurance, be careful. Once again, there's no free lunch in this world. Although someone from Moscow was trying to get me to talk about free lunch, there is no free lunch. You don't get anything for free. And if you really don't want, if you want your dentistry to last, you want good oral health, you want to be able to eat and chew your food, you want freedom from infection, you don't want your gums bleeding, and you want to have your teeth for the rest of your life, there's a financial obligation that goes along with it, as well as a personal obligation. You got to take care of it. So anyway, this is going too long. I like to keep these short. We'll do another one, but please, if you're going to go ahead, you, your family, your loved ones, if you're going to choose another dentist, don't go by cheap. Go by best, and then try to work out the finances. Every dentist will work it out there. We have financial arrangements that go out 2 years, so people, even 4 years, so people can afford it. If you want to have it done, there's someone out there that will take care of it for you. And as from my friend here in Moscow, brush twice a day. That comes from a toothpaste company. There's no such thing as brushing twice a day or see a dentist twice a year. That's purely a marketing thing. I think it was a toothpaste company. Anyway, friends, have a great day. Be successful. Be safe out there, and we'll talk to you again soon.